Desert islands. Just the name conjures up images: palm trees swaying in the breeze, white sand beaches stretching into the distance, crystal clear water teeming with life. But these islands are more than just pretty pictures. They are places of survival, places where nature's power is on full display. For centuries, desert islands have captured our imaginations. They are the backdrop for countless stories of adventure, danger, and survival. But how much do we really know about these remote outposts? Are they truly as deserted as they seem? And what challenges await those who find themselves stranded on their shores? Let's delve into the real world of desert islands.
You might be surprised to learn just how many desert islands dot our oceans. It's difficult to pinpoint an exact number. The definition of a desert island can be fluid. Is it an island with no permanent inhabitants, or simply one with limited resources? Regardless, estimates suggest there are thousands upon thousands of these islands scattered across the globe. Some are mere specks of land, barely visible above the waves. Others are much larger, boasting their own unique ecosystems. Let's talk size. The largest desert island in the world is Greenland. Covered mostly in ice, it dwarfs many countries. On the opposite end of the spectrum, the smallest desert islands might be little more than sandbars, barely peaking above the high tide. These tiny islands are often the result of volcanic activity or erosion. They might appear and disappear with the changing tides. Despite their size, even the smallest desert island can provide a temporary haven for a castaway.
Section 4. Shipwreck. Reality, not as common as you'd believe. Movies and books often depict ships being dashed against the rocks of desert islands. In reality, shipwrecks on desert islands are less common than you might think. Modern navigation and communication systems have made sea travel far safer. Most ships are well equipped to handle storms and avoid hazards. Of course, accidents can still happen. Mechanical failures, rogue waves, and human error can all lead to disaster at sea.
Section 5. Spotting land, not always a pirate's paradise. You might imagine a desert island as easy to spot from miles away, a lush green paradise rising out of the blue. However, spotting a low-lying island from a distance can be surprisingly difficult, especially in rough seas or poor visibility. Sailors rely on a combination of traditional navigation techniques, such as charts and compasses, and modern technology like radar and GPS to avoid running aground. Even with these tools, mistakes can happen.
Section 6. A History of Survival. Castaways and their tales. Throughout history, there have been countless tales of sailors finding themselves marooned on desert islands. Some were victims of circumstance, their ships lost to storms or pirates. Others were deliberately abandoned, left to fend for themselves. These castaways faced incredible challenges. They had to find food and water, build shelter, and protect themselves from the elements. Many perished, succumbing to starvation, dehydration, or disease.
Section 7. Found at last, stories of rescue and resilience. While many castaway stories end in tragedy, there are also remarkable accounts of survival and rescue. Take the story of 3 sailors, Tom Neal, Bernard Gilboy, and Richard Prothero, who intentionally stranded themselves on a deserted Pacific island, each at different times in history. They lived off the land, braving solitude and the elements, before eventually being rescued. These stories remind us of the resilience of the human spirit and our ability to adapt to even the most extreme circumstances.